In my last video, well, one of my last videos, one of the commenters said that, I shouldn't focus so much on religion because God doesn't care about religion. And when I read that comment, I was like, what? That makes absolutely no sense at all. Like, that is the whole point of the Bible. That's the whole point of why God says to worship and to follow him and to follow him through Christ. God explicitly cares about religion. There are very literal commandments that are in the Bible that you must abide by if you want to assure yourself a good life in the here and the now. And if you don't, then do not be shocked when things go wrong or things don't go your way for not listening to those commandments. Okay? Understand this. I fear God. Once you understand the power that God has, I would hope you would fear him too, because he is the master of everything. He is the bringer of life and he's the bringer of death. He can end everything all at once if you forsake him and you disobey his commandments. So I'm going to listen to God over the words of another human, okay? Because humans don't really know themselves too much, okay? And humans are always going to listen and follow their hearts, and the heart is one of the biggest deceivers of all time. And Jesus said himself, listen to your heart lies, it deceives you, okay? Listen to him, because he is the way, he is the truth, okay? So I'm just going to end that right there and then go into the main point of this video, okay? So in the actual previous video, I talked about losing a family member, how devastating that was. But within that same week, I got some very devastating news of a childhood friend of mine who made a very bad choice, I'm gonna say, and now his freedom is no longer his. And those two things hit me all in the same weekend. And it was just a very, 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 I couldn't believe it. It was just disbelief. Like, it just felt like a movie, like everything. It just did not feel real. It was just two very shocking, traumatic turn of events that happened to me that weekend. Okay. And when I heard both news, okay, because they equally were devastating. A little bit of me, died that day, and a side of me come out that I worked so hard to keep at bay. Okay, the side that died in me was, fear of holding back about, how I feel and holding back on the things that should be said, okay, that need to be said to people who are disrespectful and who are egotistical, okay? And the side of me that came out at the end of the fear of holding back was cruelty, in a sense, justified cruelty, okay? And what I mean by that is that I'm not a cruel person. I'm not an aggressor, okay? I'm not an asshole. I don't do things to hurt people just to hurt people, okay? I'm a man of peace and I seek peace at all times, but human beings, okay, are very, very selfish and very, very self-centered, and they operate through the center of egotism, if that's the right word, okay? Their ego and their need for self-preservation drives their decisions, regardless of how it makes other people feel around them, okay? And I myself am very aware of that because I am a human as well, and I constantly make the effort not to be selfish, and I constantly make the effort not to do things or say things to that back. I make sure not to do or say things in a selfish way that has implications for other people's lives, okay? It's a very conscious effort, okay? Think before you speak, and think about the actions before you make them, or think about the consequences, the potential consequences of those actions that you take, okay? But I understand that not everyone thinks as such. Okay. And, during, in the midst of this devastating news, right? There's people that are around me that I don't like. Okay, let's keep it a buck. Okay, I don't like them. I don't like them because of their character. I don't like them because of their behavior. Okay, there's no reason for me to associate with them outside of the environment that I have to be in. Okay, and I do my best to be cool, to keep it patient. Because that's life. Okay, you're gonna be surrounded by people and work with people that you don't like. But it is what it is. That is the task at hand. Okay, task that is at hand. And so, let's just say that I had enough of these people. Enough. Okay. My patience waned, and it was a last straw. And, coupled with the compounding effects of these news, I lashed out, and I snapped at these people, deservedly so. Okay. I don't feel I don't feel shame or guilt for saying, or feel bad for saying what needs to be said to these people, because they've been carrying themselves in a very disrespectful way since I've known them, since I've met them. And I don't understand. I try my best to ignore it, but you can only push a man so far before he bares his teeth. Okay. And on that day, I showed that cruelty that few people have ever seen. Okay, my friends can attest to it, that they've seen this really dark side of me, and they know not to push too far. And it sucks that it has to get to that point, because it sucks that you should know, just as an adult, that you shouldn't do or say certain things. But understand this: people in this country, humans in this country, right? They have grown up in a world where they haven't dealt with the consequences. Okay, and sometimes you have to be the bringer of those consequences, especially when they overstep their reach and they overstep their boundaries and they disrespect you. That's just the laws of humanity. Okay, you cannot let people continue to be in their way and disrespect you without you speaking up or putting your foot down. Okay, and sometimes that requires you to be cruel. Okay, justifiably cruel. And so things like, and it's like this, what I'm saying? Like, there's a Christian saying, love thy neighbor, turn the other cheek, forgive. And yes, all that is important. Okay, you should forgive. Okay, but once you forgive, look and see the kind of person you're dealing with. Okay, because you can keep forgiving them. Okay, but if they don't change their character, change their behavior, you have to put your foot down. You can show them as much love and compassion as possible, but if they do not see the love and compassion that you're offering them, you have to consider the fact that these people may just be bad and evil people. And bad and evil do not acknowledge, listen, or adhere to love and compassion. Okay? They do not. Okay? And so you have to breathe the hammer of justice for your own life to let these people know this is not how it's going to be. Okay? Understand this, man. Once you read the Bible, study the Bible, you see that God loves justice. Okay? That's what God's all about. He loves justice. And justice is blind. Okay? And justice is unbiased. Justice is just the natural laws of things. It's cause and effect, consequences for your actions. Okay? If someone is overstepping their boundaries, or someone does something bad to you, okay, it's within your right as a human, it's within your right as a Christian to combat that evil justifiably. Okay? And you should not feel any guilt or any shame for you taking the right steps in the right directions to put the foot down, put the hammer down for your own sense of being. What kind of person are you to let another human, man or woman, continually walk all over you and you don't set boundaries? It means you're weak. That's what it means. And God did not make you to be weak. What did God say? Right? God gave you the gift of power, love, and self control. Okay, he did not give you fear and weakness. To be a follower of Christ, you have to be strong, and you must combat evil when it's thrown at you in your face. And don't get it twisted. It is evil to feel like you are above someone and to subject someone to your bullshit. It's not justified whatsoever for you to project your insecurities, your egos, your problems onto other people in this world. That is evil. That is selfish, and it is evil, and it is unjust. Okay? It is unjust. Okay? So, to continue, when I show that side of me, that, justified cruelty, as I say, they took a step back and they're like, oh, wow, Faison has teeth. Yes, I have teeth. Okay? What do you think this was? Like, I'm saying, like, I can be patient as long as I can. But when you continue to act like a child, then I will treat you like a child and hand out the punishment justly. Okay? Plain and simple. I'm going to do it in a very calm yet stern manner. And things is like, I understand the weight and the power of my words and how I say things, and it hurts. And I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to. It doesn't make me feel good to have to cross that line to become that person. It doesn't, because I hate having to do that, because it causes me stress. Okay? It causes me stress. All right? And I just want to chill. But people in society, these humans, they just don't know how to control themselves. They don't. And they wonder why when someone like me actually speaks up, they're like, oh my God, what got into this person? It's like, you know exactly what got into you. You're just seeing it from your center of egotism to see what you did wrong or what this person did wrong. Okay? I don't feel any guilt or any shame whatsoever. I'm within my rights to defend myself and defend how I feel if you disrespect me. Correct? It is. So don't feel a type of way. And if you want to paint me the enemy, that's your prerogative. But you did that. You did that yourself. I stick to myself. And it's weird too. It's like, it's so funny. It's like, I definitely carry myself in a way that signals not to mess with me. Okay? And not to think that you're above me or whatever. I definitely carry myself in that type of way. So like, so why are you so surprised that I had to bare my teeth when you disrespected me? Why are you surprised? You think I feel bad? I don't care about how you feel, because obviously you don't care about how I feel. So why should I care about how you feel? Okay, I forgive you. Okay, and I will continue to forgive you. But do not think that I'm going to continue to act the same way around you moving forward. That kindness and that compassion, that love that I showed you the first time around is completely gone out the door. Okay? You cannot continue to be nice to these people, kind to these people, compassionate to these people when they continually disrespect you and when they continually cross your boundaries. No, you cannot. It makes you weak, and God does frown upon that. He does. Okay? But forgive them. Okay? Forgive them because you must. Because if you don't forgive them, then God will forgive you for your transgressions. Okay? Act accordingly. Okay? Take back the compassion. Take back the love. Take back the kindness. And that's it. It's over. Because God would do the same. Right? That's what God does, right? God doesn't continue to reward you with his love and compassion and kindness when you continually forsake him, when you continually disobey him and you spit in his face, and when you continuously do not ask for his forgiveness, right? Because things like, if you ask for his forgiveness, if you ask him to forgive you of your transgressions, yes, he will forgive you. Okay? But do not get it twisted. If you, like I said, if you continue to act the way you're doing, acting like you are above God, there is no salvation. There really isn't. It's utter and pure destruction. The funny thing is like this too, man. It's like, sometimes I always wonder like what goes on in people's heads, you know, to feel like they need to be this way. Like you think this way is appropriate, professional to act this way. And sometimes, sometimes I hope they're grateful that I was the one to, to unleash the hammer upon them of my sense of justice on them, because in this world, in this society, there are way worse people than me, who do not know how to control themselves when they feel disrespected. For many people, I'll say a vast majority of people in society, when they feel disrespected or when they feel that their boundaries are crossed, revenge is the only thing on their mind, and people will go to lengths to feel satisfied in the pursuit of getting back at you for disrespecting them. I don't, because revenge is God's business, not mine. And from what I've observed over time, those who cross me and those who move against me move against God, and I've observed those people's lives go to shambles. And I just sit back and I watch and I was like, yeah, because you did that, okay? You continue to be this way after me, and then someone else got to you. And I don't feel bad. I don't even feel good. I don't feel any type of catharsis or anything. If anything, I feel pity. Because I was just like, damn, you didn't learn the first time when I set my boundaries, but you crossed you just kept on going with someone else, and look what happened to you. You should have learned from me, because I was reasonable. But like I said, there are people in this world who are not as reasonable as me when it comes to forgiveness, in a sense. Okay? Because I'll say it once, and I will say it again. I'll never repeat myself. I don't constantly keep setting boundaries, and I don't constantly keep putting down the hammer of judgment on my behalf continually. If I say something once, and I put my foot down once, that's it. There's no conversation. Continue, then my behavior around you will change permanently. You have to understand that in this world, there are good people and then there are bad people. Okay? But being a good person doesn't mean you will get into heaven. You can still be a good person and commit horrible sins against God and against other people. Okay? Bad people are just bad people. They're evil. Okay? At the end of the day, you cannot combat evil, badness, with love and compassion. You can't. You can forgive them, but you can't continue to be compassionate towards them, because after a while you start to realize that they're compassionate, they're cognizant, of their decisions. Okay? And this is who they are. Know that God even supplied his angels with weapons against the war against evil. The evils of the other side are seeping in rapidly, quickly, and they're more apparent than ever. It's in broad daylight. There's no way in heaven that we can combat what is happening with love and compassion. There's no way. I've tried to see it from all points of view, all types of angles, but it's impossible. It really is. I say, continue to show love and kindness to your brethren, to those who oppose you, and those who move against you in this world. Okay? Set your boundaries, set them firm. But be very aware that these people are your enemies. Okay? And yes, as God said, you should love your enemies. Okay? And pray for those who move against you. And that's very true. But On a material sense, you still be very aware of the people that you're dealing with. And you have to be very, very strong, okay, to combat these people. Do not have any fear of them. Don't fear them. There's nothing to fear of them. Be strong. Be strong in your faith and stand your ground, okay? Don't let any of these humans in this world walk all over you, show you any type of disrespect, okay? And just remember, those who move against you, move against God.